People talk about milestones like they change something fundamental. So I kept moving toward one. And eventually, I got there. For a moment, it felt exactly how I hoped it would. Then the next morning, I was back at work. Inbox full, same routine, like nothing had happened. And in a way, nothing had. Life just kept asking things from me. I think that's the part nobody really prepares you for. I thought strength was something you carried inside you. Portable. Yours. Turns out, some of it was coming from the people around me. The ones who made hard days feel smaller, just by being in the same room. When that changed, I started meeting parts of myself I hadn't met before. Anxiety that didn't have a name. Silence. Sat differently. I don't think I was weak. I just didn't know which parts of me were actually mine. There are two versions of you that exist in other people's heads. The one who made it, and the one who hasn't quite yet. And neither of them is asking how you actually are. You're just quietly trying to keep up with both pictures at the same time. It's not dramatic. It doesn't announce itself. It just sits there, low and constant. Like a background noise you've stopped trying to turn off. Some days, you don't even notice it anymore. That's probably the most exhausting part. Everyone laughs, and about half a second later, so do you. Nobody notices. You've gotten good at the timing, but you're aware of it. That slight delay. The moment where everyone else is already there and you're still catching up. Nobody is being unkind. You just spend a lot of energy making it look effortless. And some days that's fine. Other days, it's just a lot. There's a version of the life I want that I keep at a distance. Not because it's impossible, just because wanting it fully and not having it yet feels like too much to carry around every day. So I stay busy, moving, getting through it. And sometimes I wonder if that's patience or something else I haven't been honest about yet. When your life changes, not everyone changes with it. The calls get shorter. You give simpler answers. Not because the connection isn't real, just because explaining the full distance takes more than either of you has right now. And you feel guilty about that gap, even though nobody chose it. Moving forward has a cost that doesn't show up anywhere obvious. It shows up quietly, in the people you're still holding on to, while slowly becoming someone they don't fully recognize anymore. The thing you once prayed for becomes ordinary so slowly, you barely notice it happening. And then one day it's just your life, your normal, the place you measure everything else from. You stop seeing it as something you built. It just becomes the floor. But it wasn't always the floor. There was a version of you who would have looked at this life and felt something. Maybe it's worth pausing long enough to feel it too. I don't think the question is whether it was easy. I don't think the question is whether you were certain. The real question is whether it mattered. And when I sit quietly with that, the answer comes slowly. Yeah, I think it did. Not because everything worked out, just because of what it asked of me, and who I had to become to keep going anyway.